9-ball championships. And what a way to get this event underway. Ko Pin Yi. He's breaking in the first.
24 tables here. We'll keep you right up to date with all of the action. And before the final ball is potted on Sunday, we'll have, unbelievably, 503 matches. It is going to be a pool festival like London has never seen before.
First shot is always a little nervy one in any match. Doesn't matter how much experience you've got. But this man has got plenty of experience on a pool table. And just a quick glance at where these balls are sitting, it's a good chance. He's to play this one with a little bit of spin. There you see the cue ball spinning.
He's also got bags of confidence, Ko Pin Yi, after winning in Bucharest, Romania last week, a 9-ball ranking event. One of the obvious picks, Carl, one of the obvious title contenders.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be on the lips of many people here this week. One of the clear favourites to pick this title up. There's a few of them though. Really nice player to watch is Ko Pin Yi. Never really hits the cue ball too hard. Everything's nice and smooth. Very good cue ball control. And it's a very, very simple first rack, break and run to open up this year's event.
Wasn't that smooth? It's all very different to the way that Ko Pin Yi started out his Whirlpool Masters campaign in Gibraltar recently. He took on his younger brother Ko Ping Chung in the first round, and although he won that match, it was very unimpressive. Improved from there, but you can't really improve on the way he played that rack, which was simply superb. So just to repeat, if you want to see the stream from this table, it's matchroom.live. It's also on Matchroom Pool's Facebook page. And if you want to see table 2, 6 great matches over there for you all day, it is Matchroom Pool YouTube channel. Ko Pin Yi. I was telling you about that win in Romania last week. He won the Dan Fisher Trophy at the Bucharest Open. And boy, did he play well there. He beat some really top-class players. Had a 9-match unbeaten run to the title. Won €5,000 for his trouble. And in the final, Carl, he beat Victor Zielinski 13-5. And Zielinski has been one of the players of the year so far.
Yeah, that's right, Phil. There's a few, isn't there? There's a few lurking, and they're all here this week.
Ko Pin Yi's other victims in that tournament, the likes of Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz in the semi-finals, Ralph Souke in the quarter-finals, and Nikos Economopoulos, the really fine Greek player, in the last 16.
Yeah, good to see my old buddy Nikos playing his here this week, so very intrigued to see how far he can go. Pay attention to the red 3 ball that's on the wing. That often goes in the pocket, but it's a dry break. Quite unusual when using the magic rack.
So our first look at Chun Hao Man.
3 ball that's on the wing. That often goes in the pocket. Yeah, plays on the GB 9-ball tour. Quite unusual when you... Not seen much of his game. That's the beauty of pool, though. There's pool players from all over the world, and they just come out of the woodworks for these type of events. It is a real chance for somebody to make a name for himself on the biggest stage of all. And it's not a bad chance, is it? He's got a good shot at this one ball. Looks like he can just roll forward a little bit to play the 2 in the bottom left. Well, you don't want to be playing it that hard when you've not had much table time.
So can I ask you, Cole, why didn't he take off
The 2 in the bottom left.
the diamond around the 9 before he played that shot?
I mean, you can take it off, but as you see, Ko Ping-Yi's had it took off. But some players sometimes just leave it on until maybe it comes into play. I think just because the 9 was on it, he wasn't really affected too much. But Ko Ping-Yi will always take it off. He doesn't want to have that in his eye line. But you can see sometimes they put it just on the edge of the table, which might seem a little bit weird to the viewers watching, but pool players were a funny breed of people. We're used to anything, Phil. We'll play in any conditions. It'll be interesting to see how the snooker boys get on this week. There's music blaring. There's people walking around the tables, having a chat. But back to the action, Ko Ping-Yi will know that it's important to keep the heat, keep the pressure on your opponent, especially when they've made a mistake. This is nice, he can just draw up into the centre of the table. There you see, nice angle there for the 6 in the top left.
It's not always an accurate indicator, but I was watching Ko Ping-Yi practice for maybe 20 minutes before the match on this table, as of course his opponent had the same facility, the same option, Chun Hao Man, and when he was practicing he looked really sharp to me. One of the things he was doing, he was playing quite a lot of bank shots to try and work out how the table is reacting in that regard. And towards the end, he was nailing every bank. So if he gets the opportunity to play that particular shot, expect him to get it. One shot so far for Chun Hao Man, 2 racks for Ko Ping-Yi. Right from the start here, he is looking very much on his game. Now don't forget, over on table 2, that stream is available on the Matchroom Pool YouTube channel. And I can tell you that Taifun Teber from Germany has taken the first rack against Kelly Fisher. Fisher had a chance to win it, but she missed the 8 ball down the left-hand side rail. Other scores for you. James Lee, 1-0 up on Craig Osborne. Jan van Leerup and Daniel Corriere, 1 each. Same with Jamie Mucock and Philip Krasinch. I hope I've got his pronunciation correct there, 1 each. Oliver Szolnocki from Hungary leads Nigel Smith 1-0. So already plenty of action.
Yeah, with all these names from all over the world playing in this year's event, Phil, I think I'll leave the updates to your good self.
Yeah, I had no problem with Craig Osborne against James Lee. That was an easy one. You could do that, Cole.
So this time Ko makes the wing ball, but this shot on the 1 doesn't look like it pots. If it does, the cue ball looks like it's running to the 7. 6 balls tied up on the 9. So you may see the template stay down for a while. It's up to the player. They can leave the template on the table, or they can ask the referee to remove it. Sometimes if the 9 is just kind of in the middle of the template, players will often just lift it off themselves. That's kind of a mutual agreement between both players. So if you're just tuning in for the first time to 9-ball pool, after the break shot, you can play a push out, and that is where a player would roll the cue ball in a particular area of the table. They can even hit another ball, they can pot a ball. And then the incoming player can either play the shot, as Chun just did, or if he didn't like it, he could have passed it back to his opponent.
I think the psychology here is really interesting. It is a giant against a minnow. Let's not beat about the bush. It is a world-class player with so many titles to his name. I told you about the banking, didn't I? He got it worked out in that practice session. It's a world-class player against someone not very well known, and for the lesser light, it must be quite a nerve-wracking experience to play someone as good as Ko Pin-Yi, especially out there on the main table.
Yeah, obviously there's 256 players. We're trying to whittle down to 16 before the matches are played on Sky Sports and DAZN across the world. So you're going to get a few matches in the first round where the top pros are going to feel like it's a bit of a warm-up, a bit of a practice match. But there is a few tasty draws out there. Just looking around the arena. It's not going to be all plain sailing. It never is.
We're on the level above the tables, and we've got an absolutely phenomenal view across this tremendous arena, which has hosted so much top-class sport. Already, Carl, you get the impression this is going to be another Matchroom multi-sport triumph.
Yeah, so now Ko would probably just leave the template. And that's what he does.
And Carl, this is a template for a very quick victory. He's already 3-0 up in this race to 9. Now, if you're a fan of snooker and you think, well, race to 9, best of 17, that's quite a lengthy match, but for these guys, it's not.
No, Ko will know that he's a big favourite in this match, so he's going to be relaxed already. Obviously winning the opening 3 racks as well. That's going to settle him down, so this could be a very, very quick match. But, you know, once Ko Pin-Yi plays another big player, another tournament winner, the matches will just slow down a little bit.
Also 3-0 up, by the way, Matthew Wrigley from Scotland. He's taking on Bharat Ramakrishna. He's from India. Demetrios Uklatos, he's playing Lou Callahan, that's 1 each. Juan Carlos Exposito from Spain, he's 2-0 down to the Belgian Kevin Lenoy. Thomas Kaplan, really good Polish player, he's 1 each with Sander Kont from Estonia. And Ralph Suke, winner of the European 8-ball championship earlier this year, the 53-year-old, is 1-0 down to Tim Jonkman.
Not quite found the break just yet. It's a very hard shot in the game of pool. It's not easy to hit the break shot with pace and control the cue ball, but you just feel he's going to have a lot of time in this match to try and perfect that.
You might have heard a smattering of applause. That was for what happened on table 2, which, just to repeat, is available for streaming on the Matchroom Pool YouTube channel. I can tell you Kelly Fisher, having lost the opening rack against Taifun Tabor, is now 2-1 ahead. Kelly having one of her finest ever years so far. She's played in 3 WPBA Tour events and won them all.
Yeah, Mr. John Lehman is just racking the balls over on Kelly's match. So if you are watching both matches at the same time, you would be right in thinking he's racking for both tables. The referees this week have got their work cut out in the opening 4 days. They've got to be on the ball as they're going to be racking more than one table at a time.
Emily Fraser's here, looking over our shoulder, so we're under pressure now, Carl. The boss is in town.
I'm scared. So this is a good chance for Chun. This does go. Would be nice to see him win a rack. Now we're going to get a good look at where his game's at. That was a good opening pot. This does go. And these balls, well, they're not sat too bad, are they now? He's got a nice angle on this red 3. He can just come round off a couple of rails. This looks okay. This is a nice shot. He's got into the cue ball nice to get closer to his work.
I'll tell you one thing that's plainly obvious already, Carl. The table is running beautifully.
Yeah, diamond pool tables. It's one of the finest tables in the game. This will just send a little message out as well. If he just runs these balls, I mean, they're all there nicely, but this is just what you've got to do. He's got to make his opponent think. Just lost the cue ball a little bit there, hasn't he? He wanted to be on the other side. Now he's gonna have to do a little bit of something here. He might have to play this. He could draw it back up and round. If he could top the cue ball through off the 1, he would probably do that. That was a nice shot.
Having not had much, if any, television exposure, maybe the swiftness of the playing surface might be a handicap for Chun. But the way he's potting these balls is more than encouraging.
Yeah, it's been a good rack. So this 9-ball to win your first rack of the event, and there it is. He's off the board.
And it's always a good feeling that. Well done to Chun Hao Man. Ko Pin-yee's lead reduced to 3-1. Significantly though, Chun gets to break off in rack 5. It's a winner breaks format. Now, there's a competition going on unofficially to see who will record our first victory of the morning. And right now in pole position to do that, it might well be the Albanian Mosconi Cup player, Eklund Kaci, who finds himself 6-0 up over on table 10 against George Edwards. 6-0 Kaci. As for Dennis Grabber, the well-known Estonian player, he's 4-0 up on Terence Gulliver from Canada. Pius Labutis, he's 2-1 up on Pablo Garcia Laga. Jamiel Jacobs from South Africa is 3-1 up on Alex Cameron. Robert Braga, 3-1 up on Daniel Maciel. Lots going on. And one of the great names in pool from Germany. Tobias Bongers finds himself 3-0 up on Leo Boscher. Bongers against Boscher. That's my kind of match. When there's 24 tables like this, Carl, you need eyes in the back of your head, don't you, to keep up with it?
Yeah, the early stages can often be quite hard to follow. That's why we're just focusing on table 1 and 2. We will try and keep you updated as things move along, but things will become more clear as we approach Judgment Day and finding out who our final 16 players will be. Now, Chun to break. Let's see what he's made of. Sent a little message to Ko there. He's saying, hey buddy, I can run the table, don't worry about that. Well, not a bad break as well. Oh, it's going to set up okay. So, this is a good chance again.
Well, he missed the one ball in the second rack to this same pocket, but he's not going to miss this one.
Yeah, the 2 ball goes in the right centre, and it also passes the 6 ball in the bottom right corner. So he's got a couple of options there. 3 balls up the top and the 4 ball, so this is a good chance. I mean, I say it's a good chance, it's very easy when you sat here just watching and you look at the split, but often when you start running the balls out, it's all about cue ball control. The minute you start losing that cue ball and you have to start playing fancy shots is when it starts to go wrong. And if he's dead straight, he's going to have to... Well, he had a bit of an angle so he could run into the 6, so that is nicely done indeed. These are the racks that just simply have to go. If you're going to do damage in a professional pool tournament, you simply have to clear the table here.
And the trick is to fully concentrate, but not overly try. Just imagine you're playing back home in your local club against a friend, not here in the Copper Box Arena in front of so many spectators around the world, so many viewers around the world, and you're up against a former world champion as well. Try and block that out. It's much easier said than done, though.
Yeah, he's landed nice there. He's got a nice angle now. He can just pop this in the left centre. Just draw the cue ball over a little bit for the 8. Even if he lands on the side rail, he'll be happy with that. Just needs to bear down on this. He would have liked to have been a little bit closer, but I mean, he should be fine.
Similar to the 9 ball he potted in rack 4. And rack 5 goes the same way. So anyone who thought that Ko Pin-Yi would run away with this match, they'd better think again. Chun Hao Man, in the last couple of racks, has produced some really good pool. Over on table 2, by the way, just again to repeat for the last time, that stream is available on Matchroom Pool YouTube channel. Kelly Fisher is 3-1 up on Taifun Tabor. And look at Mark Beisterbosch over on table 20. He has got an absolutely explosive break off, the Dutchman, and he leads 7-0 against Andrei Ionescu from Romania. 7-0. former World Cup winner from Finland, Petri Mäkinen. He's 3-1 up on Liam Waterworth. Daniel Corriere, well-known Italian player, plays on the Euro Tour. He's 3-2 down against Jan van Leerup. Jamie Mocock, 4-1 up on Filip Krajewski from Poland. Oliver Szolnocki, World Championship semi-finalist last year. He's 3-2 up on Nigel Smith. Lots going on.
Yeah, Mark Bijsterbosch, he's trying to set some kind of record there. 7 racks. In no time, incredible start. The break's gone a little bit wrong.
By the way, another couple of 7-0s to tell you about. Dennis Grabber, 7-0 up on Terence Gulliver. And Eklund Kachi going great guns as well.
Dry break in rack 6. Shouldn't really happen that often unless you hit them really bad. When using this magic rack, I'll explain a little bit more about the magic rack in a few shots time. Let's just see what Ko's up to here. He's playing a push. So now Chun's going to have the option to play this shot or give it back to Ko Pin Yi.
You must have had this call during your career where you start off like a train against someone you don't really know that well, and you assume it's going to be a breeze, and then all of a sudden there's a rude awakening. Now Ko Pin Yi realises that Chun Hao Man can compete.
Yeah, I mean, in rack 4 when Ko was 3-0 up, he went for the bank shot on the one and missed it, didn't he? Which is fair enough, and then Chun cleared the table, then a break and run, and that's how quick it can change in pool. You've got to pay attention to every little thing, because one shot can cost you 4 or 5 racks easy. And he's put Ko Pin Yi back into the table. Difficult to see if the one ball pots, but let's say it does pot. How do you get on the 2? And does the 2 even go? So he's playing safe. The safety shot was always pretty easy. Chun would have known that, but maybe Chun decided he didn't want to play this shot because the kick shot was pretty easy. Got a great chance of potting this ball. He's going to play across side table, so just missed the red 3 and the brown 7. And then watch the cue ball. He's trying to hit the top rail before connecting the yellow 1. So this is a 2-rail escape. Just got a little bit too close to the 1, didn't he? Didn't hit enough of the rail, but I don't believe Ko can pot this, so it's going to be another safety shot.
Yes, and with awkward queuing over the 5, that's not a bad outcome, is it really, for Chun?
Well, he didn't want that, did he, Phil? He's knocked the 5 in. I can only presume he was trying to miss the 5 and send the 1 ball down table. But it was a poor shot, and now he's kicking at this one.
Yeah, the worst kind of snooker, the worst kind of hook, whatever your terminology. Self-imposed. You hate those, don't you?
Oh, and the scratch, so if the 1 ball falls in, well, it's not. That'd have made life easier for Chun, because he's got a player. It's not so much a difficult positional shot, but it's all about the 3 ball. 3 ball goes in the right centre pocket. So he needs to try and get on this 2 ball off the pot in the 1, where the next positional shot on that red 3 is easy. And it looks a little bit trickier.
Just while he's weighing this up, and of course there's no shot clock for the first 4 days of this competition, so he does have unlimited time. One of the most industrious people who work for Matchroom Multisport, and they're all industrious, is Jake Aspie, who's sitting to my left, and he's just pointed out to me that on table 2, Kelly Fisher has recovered from the loss of the first rack against Tayfun Tabar and now leads 5-1. Kelly playing some lovely pool. When you think Eklund Kachi is now 8-1 up on the hill against a late substitute, George Edwards, and then you look over onto table 6, and Tim Yonkman is 2-0 up on Ralph Suke. A little bit of a disparity there in how the games are going, Carl.
I'm saying nothing, Phil. We know Ralph likes to take his time at the table, give everything 100%. That's his style of play. You're going to get quick matches, and you're going to get a few slow ones. So he's decided to play the cue ball in open space, but this was always going to be the problem. How do you get from the 2 to the 3? I think if Chun could have played this shot again, maybe he should have tried to be a little bit more adventurous, because this is going to cause him problems now.
After the shot, I'm going to give you news of our first result. Oh, never going to make the journey, was it? So, Dennis Grabber, the fine Estonian player, has beaten Canada's Terence Gulliver. He's whitewashed him 9-0. Now, this is a double elimination, so it's not a case of Gulliver's travels just yet, but he'll be on his way home if he plays like that next time up.
Well, that is a quick 9 racks indeed for Dennis Grave.
Yeah, you see, you call him Grabe, I'll call him Grabber now. Alex Laley, the European Mosconi Cup captain, always calls him Grabber, and as you know, he's an extraordinary linguist, Alex. I think he speaks 6 different languages, so we'll have to get that one sorted out. We must approach Dennis and see what is the correct pronunciation.
Well, his nickname is Grabo. Not a bad safety shot there from Chun. Asking the question. If Ko's trying to play thin off this is horrible. Watch the scratch. He's actually played a good shot, but it was just so hard to get the hook back. Chun's got to keep the heat on now.
Well, the well-known snooker commentator Dennis Taylor always says, when he sees something like that, the dreaded double kiss, DDK. That was a terrible double kiss, didn't want it at all, but look how it's worked out, and that's why Chun is apologising.
He'll be sat in his chair secretly happy though. So we're out apologising, but we've all been there where you're thinking, oh, that's the result. Cole's trying to play a little swerve shot here. He's trying to go rail first. And he's trying to get the 3 ball to miss the green 6 and land on the bottom rail, and the cue ball to land on the top rail. He's hit it a little too thin, but he's got distance. That is always key when you're kicking on a pool table. Don't give your opponent anything easy. And he hasn't. Yeah, he can pot this, but cue ball looks like it's going to be running into the 8. The 4 ball looks awkward. So he's asking the question. Wow, that was a great pot. Not only is it a great pot, he's bumped into this 8 ball like we predicted. And he's having a good look, so this must be pretty tight. Good thing is, if you can just spin this ball in and use the brown 7 to hold the cue ball. Big little moment coming up in this match now. I was a little bit guilty thinking this was going to be a one-sided match. Yeah, he's done well. Where's the 7 going to finish? That's okay, because he can play a combo. Now, the very first rack of this match for Chun, he played a 1 ball and he played it too hard. You do not want to be playing this ball hard. He's got to play it soft and just kill the cue ball, because if you miss the 6, it can still slide in the pocket from this angle. So don't be guilty of smashing this ball too hard. Trust in your cue action, Chun. Well, it was too hard, but that wouldn't have gone in even if it was softer. He's played it into the short rail and not the long rail. And that is just what Ko Ping-yi was waiting for.
Yeah, that could be a turning point. It really could. Because if Ko Ping-yi can win this rack, of course he gets to break off in the next, and then he can go on an extended sequence of success.
Nicely done. Absolutely perfect to make this combination unmissable. And then he'll just leave himself some form of an angle on the 7.
Yeah, it was a really clever shot, wasn't it, the 6, because he was conscious of trying to avoid the 9, and he did so by hitting the 6 quite thin. It's not about potting the balls entirely, it's about potting the balls in the segment of the pocket that works for you. And it certainly worked for Ko Ping-yi here. After a couple of racks won by Chun Hao Man, a tactical 6th has gone to the former world champion, and he now leads 4-2. Over on table 2, it's 5-2 for Kelly Fisher over Taifun Tabar. Table 19, interesting fellow, John McAllister, former English 8-ball world champion. He's 4-1 upon Joe Granville. Craig Osborne 6-1 upon James Lee. Jan van der Leeuwen 4-2 upon Daniel Corriere. My favourite name in the tournament, Tobias Bongers. 8-0 up now on Leo Boscher on the hill. And Oliver Szolnoki pulling away from Nigel Smith. Szolnoki from Hungary now leads 6-2. Well, George Edwards, who was pulled in as a very last-minute substitute, he's actually won 3 racks now against Declan Catchy. So well done to him. Not going well, mind you, for Ralph Suke, the 6 times World Pool Masters champion. He's 4-1 down to Tim Yonkman.
Yeah, we said it, didn't we, at the start of the day? There's players here that are unknown, and that is just purely down to the vast amount of people that play pool worldwide, and the fact that Matchroom Pool are putting more events on. We're going to get to see these players, and it's a chance for somebody to come out the woodwork and make a name for themselves. That's a good break from Colo. He switched sides and he's gone with more power. Just looks like it's a little bit of a tricky opener. Looks like if he was to stun this ball in, he would stun into the 3. That's why he's drawing it. He's going to try and draw into the 4. Well, he tried to draw into the top side of the 3. It's not great, but it's not too bad. It's a little thin one into the bottom left. That was a nice shot from Ko to get back over for this pink 4, but the purple 5 is awkward. Doesn't look like it passes the 8. That's where he's signalling he would like the cue ball. This is a tasty shot he's got coming up. It's the type of shot where when you're practicing, you're desperate to play this, but in a match where you're leading 4-2 in the first round of a 2-5-6 field pool tournament, this is dangerous. If you were practicing, you'd go forward with low to top right. He's actually playing it into the top right corner. That offers easier position, but it makes the pot a lot more difficult. And it's caused a miss, but this is nasty. Good luck getting on this purple 5 from there. So he sacrificed an easier pot purely down to the position. On an old cloth and a pool table in your club, this wouldn't be too bad to get the cue ball back down the table. But on brand new equipment, brand new balls and cloth, this is just going to spin on him. This is nasty. I think he's got to edge his bets here. He's just going to try and play it as thin as he possibly can. More like a bit of a stun shot and kind of just see where the cue ball finishes, because it's just so hard to judge this. If he plays with any top spin, it's going to hold up, but the 5 doesn't go, does it? We know that, but he's done well getting back down there. Can he play the 5 into the rail and pot the 8? Over in table 2, Kelly Fisher's at the table. She leads 5-3. She was 5-1 up in that match, so she's got a little battle going on there. The worst thing you can do, Phil, in a 2-5-6 tournament, double a limb to the last 16 is lose in the opening couple of rounds. If you do, it's going to be a long week.
Yeah, it would be recoverable, but as you say, you take so much out of yourself by playing match after match after match that by the end of it, you might be struggling for stamina. Well, Kelly Fisher's just won the 9th rack there, so it's now 6-3 for her against Taifun Tabar. What a setup here. And there you can see in the middle of the 2 stream tables where we're going to have the action on Saturday and Sunday for the closing stages, and highlighted the light shines on the trophy, the one all of the 256 players here want to lift.
This is the beauty of having no shot clock. He could just spend that little bit more time to decide on what shot to play. He's played a nice shot there, he really has. He was in all kinds of trouble.
By the way, what a story developing on table 10, where Eklund Kachi was running away with it against George Edwards, but now the 11th hour replacement trails only 8-5. Fantastic achievement from him. I believe he's using a borrowed cue.
All the experience there from Ko Pin-Yi. He would have known getting a good cue ball and separation was key, but where the 6 ball is placed, he would have liked the 5 ball to not go near this corner pocket. So this is a good chance for Chun. He's played okay, hasn't he, in the opening 6 racks. He will have been very nervous when the draw was made. You know, of course he will know who Ko Pin-Yi is. But he'll have been excited to play as well, and why not? Oh, that's a poor miss though. The big chance gone begging there from Chun Hao Man. Ko used all his experience though, made sure he got a good cue ball on the kick shot, made sure he didn't sell out.
Looks a very slick playing surface to me, this, and there's no doubt positionally Ko Pin-Yi not quite pinpoint yet.
Yeah, and that's illustrated there as well, isn't he? He's getting down quick, so he does fancy this, but this is thinner than it looks. No, he's done well there. What's the side pocket though? And that's fine.
Well, if there's a gimme and pull, this is it, the 9 ball in. And so Ko Pin-Yi more than halfway to victory. He leads Chun Hao Man 5-2. One player already victorious is the big breaking Dutchman Mark Bosch. He's whitewashed Andre Ionescu 9-0. And it looks as though in the next round, Bosch will play Craig Osborne. Osborne leading James Lee 8-1. Tobias Bonga's already looking good as well. He's 8-1 up on Leo Boscher. Pius Labutis from Lithuania, 8-1 up on the Spaniard Pablo Garcia Laga. Look at this, Carl. It's now 8-6 Eklund Kachi over George Edwards. 8-6. Kachi was 7-0 up there, breezing towards victory. How quickly matches can turn around with this winner breaks format. What a story that would be if Kachi were to be beaten.
Yeah, I could only think Kachi took his foot off the pedal, but that's a brave thing to do in the game of 9 ball.
One of the scoreline for you, Matthew Wrigley. He leads 8-3 against Bharat Ramakrishna from India. So Wrigley on the hill, and if he wins that, he will await the winner of our final streamed match today, which is Shane Van Boening against James Channon. So, what an opportunity for Wrigley to play SVB in front of the cameras. (7-3) now, by the way. Kelly Fisher over Tayfun Tabar as Ko Pin Yi breaks off, hoping to do what he did in the first rack, break and run out and put more distance between them.
Yeah, I much prefer the break from this side for Ko. Yeah, there you see it again. Park the cue ball. Now, fair enough, he doesn't have a shot, but he just seems to be a better breaker from that side of the table.
I believe we've temporarily lost pictures, so I must apologise. We will aim to rectify this as swiftly as we possibly can.
Kelly Fisher just missed a purple 5 over on table 2. She's leading 7-3. There's quite a few people watching over there. She'll have a little bit of support here this week. Will Kelly?
Well, sorry about the suspension in the stream there, but we've got back just in time to see Ko Pin-Yi knocking the 9-ball in the 8th rack, and now he's taking control of this match against Chun Hao Man. Ko Pin-Yi leads by 6 racks to 2. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties, but now we have returned, and we'll see the end of this match where Ko Pin-Yi needs 3 more to go through to clear his first hurdle call.
Yeah, he's got a healthy lead again there, and that's just what he wanted. Won the opening 3 racks, and then Chun won the next 2, and he had a chance to tie the match up. You just feel like that chance is slipping away now.
Over on table 2, out of the stream today, which is available on the Matchroom Pool YouTube channel, Kelly Fisher leading 7-4 against Taifun Tabar. I think the matches are progressing really quickly this morning, with maybe a couple of exceptions. Ralph Suke 4-3 down now to Tim Yonkman, so that's quite slow going. But after that, this rack might not be slow going, although the 2-ball hasn't played ball.
Yeah, another rack where he doesn't have a shot, but he's definitely better breaking from that side of the table. I think that's clear to see. Bank shots on here, because I think the 3-ball is just far enough away from the middle pocket so it can still pot. If that is the case, he will attack this ball. "24 tables in action." We've got music pumping in the background. It's a lively atmosphere. There's a lot of people spread around the arena. You can walk in between the tables, and there's channels, so you can sweat every table you want, really. If there's a match you fancy watching, you can get close up to the action. So Chun's back at the table, the 5-ball is over the corner. Just has a tendency to hit things maybe a little bit too hard when he doesn't need to. Now he's got to try and get back over for this red 3 in the same pocket as this blue 2. It's all about what angle he's got this. Tried to go 2 rails forward, and the bump on the 3 is going to cause him some misery now.
Interesting competitor over on table 15, Carl. A 13-year-old Indian girl by the name of Natasha Chetan. She's currently 8-3 down to Jan Rempe from Holland. Jan's last name is spelt R-E-M-P-E. Great name for pool, lad. Jim Rempe, of course, the phenomenal American player from yesteryear. But to come over here and compete in this event, what great experience for Natasha.
Yeah, incredible, that really is. Chun's taking this long in the bottom right pocket. Don't blame him. Well, he played it into the rail, and there you see the pocket just swallows the ball up.
I'll tell you what, Carl, I have been impressed. Okay, he's made a few missteps, but considering his total lack of experience in this kind of environment, I think he's holding himself together pretty well, don't you?
Yeah, and I think for some viewers who are watching, they might be thinking, how do we not really know who Chun is? But there's so many pool players that play the game across the world, and Well, the commentator's curse there, Phil. You've done him again, as he makes a horror shot on the green 6.
I've done him again. You were talking when he missed it, not me. Now, come on. And that was delegation of the worst kind. The delegation of the commentator's curse.
Yeah, it just always happens though, doesn't it? Just as you're talking about a player and saying they're okay, and then, well, what a horror miss that is, and what a gift for Copenhagen.
Yeah, and you get the impression that could be the beginning of the end. Copenhagen now 7-2 up, needing just 2 more racks to clear this initial hurdle. I'll tell you what, in the second round, Cole, we have got a really good contest. Craig Osborne has come through 9-1 against James Lee, so he now plays Mark Bosch, former European 10-ball champion. So for those two to meet as early as the second round, that's a little gem.
Yeah, that's a tasty tie round 2 match, it really is.
Oliver Szolnocki from Hungary. He's 8-3 up on Nigel Smith, so on the hill. John McAllister, who you know well, Carl, the English 8-ball expert, he's 8-1 up on Joe Granville. Petri Mäkinen involved in quite a match against Liam Waterworth. The Finn leading only 6-5. Tobias Bonga's through 9-1 against Leo Boscher. Piers Labutis 9-1 over Pablo Garcia Lager. And Daniel Maciel from Poland, an up-and-coming player. He is highly talented. He's won 9-4 against Robert Braga. That's annoying. Good break, but there's no gap. No way you can see directly the 1 ball.
Yeah, he should be able to kick this ball in though, off the top rail with loads of right-hand spin. But getting position for the 2 isn't really on, so if he does attack this ball, he's just going to be playing for a good stay at the table type of shot, is what we call it.
Well, it was that kind of shot that undermined Shane Van Boening in the Whirlpool Masters when he was very surprisingly beaten in the last 16, 7-6 by Loh Ho Sum. He tried to pot a ball cushion first with lots of running side and didn't make any contact at all. And with ball in hand, Loh Ho Sum from Hong Kong cleared to complete that upset. On that occasion, Ko Pin Yi caught too much of the ball, but he's not punished.
Kelly Fisher's on the hill on table 2. 8-4 she leads. And you can see table 2 just on the right hand side. And right in the centre is the trophy. Who is going to lift that wonderful inaugural UK Open 9-ball championship trophy on Sunday evening? Even when you're 7-2 up, these are just always a little bit awkward, because you're playing it into a bit of a blind pocket, top left. Needs the cue ball to slow down. Yeah, nicely done there from Ko.
I think, Cole, this is just the kind of match he would have wanted. It's been enough of a test without being overly worrying. And it's not just a facile victory. He's had some kind of workout.
Yeah, often that is kind of a great way to start. Also, you don't want it, but winning a hill-hill match early on sets you up nicely. Doesn't feel it at the time, but often it's better than steamrolling through opponents. Just proves that you can still do it under pressure.
Yeah, I was mentioning his win in Bucharest last week. That was a 9-ball ranking event, so clearly a big boost for him. And I was going through all of the players he'd beaten, and one name I forgot was David Al-Qaedi. So he's clearly a man who comes here with big ambitions and realistic ambitions.
Yeah, of course, just last week or the week before, we was in Gibraltar for the World Masters. Ko was involved in probably the worst match he'll ever play in his career against his younger brother. That's understandable. It was a shocker. In the end, he lost out to Joshua Filler.
Yeah, the eventual champion, who we'll see in match 3 later on today. Match 2 might not be far away because Ko Pin-Yi now leads 8-2. He's on the hill against Chun Hao Man. Matches of varying length as this day has begun. I think the slowest so far has to be Tim Yonkman against Ralph Souquet. Souquet fought back to 4 each there, but Yonkman has just won the 9th rack to take or retake the lead at 5-4. Jamiel Jacobs from South Africa, he's beaten Alex Cameron. He now awaits either Sander Kont from Estonia or Thomas Kaplan. That's just this second gone 6 racks each.
Nine balls tracking, but it's not going near a pocket. But he's got a shot at the 1, and he's on the hill. Quick glance around the table. Yeah, this looks like a really nice chance for Ko to advance into winners round 2. Double elimination format, if you're not familiar with that. It's as simple as you get 1 life. If you lose 2, you're out, but it's important to stay in the winner's side of the draw. If you lose early, you have to play a lot of matches to qualify for that last 16.
Well, of course, in the US Open, we've had instances where players have won the title, having won 14 matches to do so. That's because they lost early on. Not recommended.
Yeah, that's incredible. That is very, very rare. You don't see that often. Overall, been a good performance from Ko. Not many mistakes, even when he has. It's maybe been a bank shot or a bit of a safety shot. But he's going to be happy with his opening day's play here. And he's had a feel of the arena, the venue.
Yes, and the 2 streaming tables have finished almost simultaneously. A few seconds ago, Kelly Fisher negotiated her opening hurdle, and now Ko Pin-Yi does the same.